Hello, everybody. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Linda. Hello to Tim. Hi, Tori. Hi, Mickey. It's good to see you guys. I know. Long time no see, right? It's good to be here. Except for the whining cat in the other room. Anybody want a cat? Anybody want a cat? He is about to drive me over the edge, which could be a short trip. Yeah. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Noeet. I am back. Hi, Peggy. I am back. And Chance is locked away behind door number 1. The cat. He has not shut up for 5 minutes unless he was sound asleep since I got home. And he had someone here with him. It's not like he was left to his own devices. He had company. He had company. He had somebody who loved him and cared for him and fed him and held him. And he has not shut up since I got home. Oh, anyway. Hi, Kimberly. I know it wasn't me. It was not me. And she is really good with him, and she loves the cat and the dog. But I'm here to tell you, it was not the same to him, and he has just been nonstop talk. Nonstop, and I do mean nonstop since I got back. If he does that to her when I'm gone, she won't come back. Yeah, she won't come back. Yeah, there were many parts of it that were so incredible. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about it. Anyway, just giving everybody a chance to come in. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do today, but we're going to do something. I actually cleaned off my table before I left. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot leave home, or I try not to leave home and have my space in a wreck. You know, it's like when I come back home, I don't want to have to tie into doing stuff. I just want to come home and be able to just relax, you know, come home and everything's okay and it's fairly neat, fairly tidy. Just because I make a mess when I walk through the door, just bringing my stuff in, you know. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Dar. Cheshire's cat, Dar. Good to see you guys. Hi, Shaz. Phantom Chick. Hey, CB. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, let's see. Where should we start? I feel like I've been gone forever. I was looking when I was changing the date on my stream. I'm like, my goodness, was it the 5th when I streamed the last time? I don't know. Hi, Linda. You can't hear him. He's back here in this door, behind this door. This is the first time the cat has been quiet since I got home. He follows me around. He talks. He whines. He moans. I can sit, and if he's on my lap, he's quiet. But if I'm up and doing anything, whether it's going to go get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or I'm going to go, you know, from one room to if I'm going to go to the bathroom, the cat is talking, whining, complaining. It is the craziest thing. I must have traumatized him by being gone. It's the only thing I can say. I must have traumatized him. Oh, the cat. Anyway. Hi, Hermie. Hi, Millie. Anybody that I missed coming in, welcome, welcome. We're just chatting away a little bit. Hi, Amber. Thank you. I'm glad to be back too. So, where shall we start? I feel like I've been gone forever, but it was really nice. I can't lie. I enjoyed being away. I enjoyed the change of scenery. It was so different. Hey, Joycey. Noodle. He is traumatizing me. I traumatized him. Now he's traumatizing me. You're correct. Okay. So let's see. I will talk while I do something. How about that? I used up my last... I'm on the very last page of my journal. The very last page. Sorry, I had a text to answer. I'm on the very last page of my current journal, so you know what that means. It means it's time to crack out a new journal and get a cover on it, because we know that Barb cannot survive without a journal. That is a fact. I have so much to catch up on. I did take notes on every day that I was gone, but it's going to take me a couple days minimum of just trying to get caught up in my journal. But I love having a journal so that I can look back and look at the pictures and look at the stuff that I stick in. I love having that, and I love having a place to park my brain when I find it. Chance will be written about. Chance will be written about. Yes, he will. Indeed. So, as I always tell you, we will get into my trip and stuff here shortly. But let me get this ready for you guys. As I always tell you, this is my preferred journal. Nobody has to. Everybody has their own way of journaling. If you journal, if you don't, I'm on a personal mission to get everybody to journal. But this is the journal that I settled on after trying many different kinds of journals. I should, Hermie, you're right. I should do 2 at a time. However, I don't, because I never know what I want the cover to look like. Anyway, this is the one that I use. They come in sets of 3. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Barnes & Noble. I'm sure there are many other places you can get them. This is the Moleskine Cahiers. That's how you pronounce that, Cahiers. Set of 3. And if you look on the front band, when you look for journals, if you look on the front band on the Moleskines, and by the way, they are not inexpensive. These are, obviously I ripped the price off. I bought these at my local Barnes & Noble, and they were $19.95 for 3. Okay, they're cheaper on Amazon. But anyway, this will tell you what the inside looks like. The reason I point this out is because it's super easy to buy ones that are plain inside, where the paper is not lined. It's not a graph, it's not a dot grid, it's plain, and that is super hard to write in. It's great for art journaling, it's great for sketching and stuff like that. Really hard to write in. So anyway, if you like those, that's what you want to look for. Hello, Barbara Clark, good to see you. These do have a slip-in pocket at the back, so if it matters to you what the front looks like, then you want to make sure that, hello, come back into focus. You want to make sure that you put the cover, you know, if you want something on the front cover, make sure that you have it the right way around. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. that's all I'm going to say about it, and then I'm just going to do it while we get caught up, because I need to cover this. So I'm going to put some wax paper in here, and I'm going to use some glue stick because it's easiest. And this is deli paper. That's what this is. This is deli wrap, like you would wrap a sandwich in. And I don't know where this kind came from. It's striped, and I really like that because it gives a background texture. But I'm going to use this, and I don't know if this was paste paper. I think this was a paste paper. I'm pretty sure it was. That one of the days that we did, I had some leftover paste paint and used that. So anyway, I'm just going to use glue stick. That is my go-to for doing these. I used to do all different kinds of things to put these papers down and cover the journals, and I found that using a glue stick was the fastest and the easiest, and so that's what I do. 9 times out of 10, that's what I do. And it dries quickly also. So I'm just going to put a good coat of glue stick, and this is a permanent glue stick. You don't want to use, if you do this kind of stuff and you want a journal, the cover to stay on, don't use a washable glue stick because they don't stay put. Okay, so anyway, I left for my trip. My trip was, to start with, was a little, I know I was a little kind of cryptic, shall we say, about leaving, and a lot of that was because my niece that I had you all praying for, actually we were waiting to see what was going to happen with her, and she actually did pass away, and so she is no longer dealing with pain and all the stuff that went with her illness. She did have cancer, and so she is, we were pretty sure, barring an absolute miracle, which of course could happen, we were pretty sure that that was what was going to happen. We just didn't know when, and so waited, kind of had to wait for all of that to take place, which it did. And then we left, and we went first to, actually thought I was going to get to see Janet M. Young because we were going that direction from my house. And I thought I was going to get to see her, but it didn't work out. I didn't get a hold of her soon enough. It was just spur of the moment stuff. Sometimes works great, and sometimes spur of the moment stuff doesn't work very well. And so it just didn't work for us to get together. So that was fine. We'll get it done at some point. And anyway, so we went that direction, and we went to the home of my oldest sister, who is in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And so that's where we went to begin with, and I hope you guys can hear me. I'm a little bit out of practice. And the other thing is, you guys, I'm telling you, since I got home, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I don't know why, but I have been so tired. My voice has not awakened since I got home, honestly. I don't know why I am so tired. Anyway, so, yeah, let's see. So we went to, actually, we stayed in Tulsa, which is close to Stillwater. Stayed in absolutely wretched, well, the hotel itself wasn't exactly wretched, but it was called a Best Western Plus. Okay, I don't know what they mean by plus. But I dropped one of my rings, and so I bent down to get it, and I made the mistake of looking under the bed, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I should not have done that. Yeah, I didn't do that again. Anyway, the next morning, they had, you know, how some hotels have, you know, like a prepared breakfast. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. You know, sometimes you just have to laugh because you go, yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyway, so, got to my sister and brother-in-law's house. My sister is 86. She's my oldest sister. She's 86. Her husband turned 90 the Monday after I was there. So I was there on the weekend, and he turned 90 on Monday. And they're still living at home, which seems to be working for them, and I hope that it works out just the way they need it to work. But my sister has had some strokes. Their daughter, who was my niece, was had been living with them for several years and helping to take care of them, you know, do stuff with them. And my niece is the one who passed away. Hi, Peg. Yeah, hi, Joan. Oh, I missed a bunch of people coming in. So sorry. Anyway, so got to my sister's, and she knew I was coming. I had let her know I was coming, and I said, we will be there and we will help you, and, you know, prepare a list of whatever it is you want done, and so then we'll help. So that's what we did. So I spent part of Saturday, and we also shared some meals with them, which was nice. It gave me a chance to really see how things were going there. And, you know, once you're a caregiver, you're kind of always in that role of, okay, what do I need to do? You know, what do you want? What happens? You know, sometimes people don't know what they need, you know. And anyway, so we did some things, and we had lunch, and, you know, their stamina is not super great. And so then they had to rest. So then we had to go, you know, run some errands and stuff for a while just to kind of get out of the space. We went and did that, and then back to their house, did some more things to help them, and then, you know, again, they were tired. We had dinner with them. Some people brought dinner over, which was really nice. Okay, let me get my sanding block. I'll be right back. So this is a sanding sponge, actually, that you can get at any decent hardware type store. And what I like about these is you can just sand a lightweight paper like this, deli wrap. You can just sand against the edge of the book. You can also do this with scissors. You can do it with a nail file. But if you do it at an angle like this, it will bevel the edge of the paper, and it's best if you let the glue dry, but of course you just saw me put the glue on there, so clearly I did not let it dry. But it will take the paper cleanly, usually cleanly away from the edge of the book, like so. Okay? Now, this is far from dry, so I'm going to have to put it under weight here in a minute, but I just want to get the excess paper off. But do it at an angle, and that will kind of bevel the edge of the paper. It kind of blends it down into the edge of your notebook. And it just does a really nice job of cleanly finishing that edge. If you have a nail file, like one that you use for acrylic nails or whatever they are, clearly I do not work with fingernails, but whatever those nail files are that you can get in some beauty supply houses, or I think you can even get them at Walmart and stuff now. Those will work too. This just does it faster because you've got a lot more surface. So anyway, there is my notebook covered. I'm going to put a fresh piece of wax paper around the book block in case there's any glue that's still hanging out. And I may have to come back and add some glue later. Just because sometimes, you know, like here's an edge up here maybe that isn't stuck down all the way, and if that's the case, I'll just put a little more glue under it and call it good. But anyway, that way my notebook is covered. I'm going to let this sit under some weight for a little bit, and if I think about it, we'll come back and we'll add some more stuff to the front of it. But anyway, it gets me started. Okay, so let's see, who else did I miss? Hi, Sophia. I guess that's it. What else? Let's see. So anyway, we helped my sister. The Studley Duck was with me, and so that was really nice because two of us could accomplish a lot more together. And sometimes, you know, at one set of eyes, two sets of eyes are better at observing things sometimes. So let's see what else we got. You know, bathrooms cleaned and kitchen counters clean, you know, just stuff that it wasn't dirty, believe me. It just needed some touch up. Laundry caught up. What else? Bathrooms done. Floors, all the hard floors all done. Groceries, the Studley Duck took my brother-in-law, aged, like I said, almost 90. He was 90 on Monday. Took him to the grocery store, and got got him restocked on groceries. What else? We got, my niece had a condo, and so we took some things back to her condo that needed to go, you know, just stuff that we were able to say, okay, let's do it. What's the list? What do you really need? And my sister was capable of putting that list together and telling us what she needed. Even though she couldn't do it all, she could tell us what she needed, and so that's what we did. Hi, Mary. Oh, good, Mary. I'm glad you're okay. So anyway, that was then. So after that, then I got to go to Colorado. My reward was to get to go to the mountains. Cheers. Okay. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. I'm a little bit disorganized. I know you can't tell. The last thing I think that we did when you guys were, when I was here with you, I think the last thing we did, I'm not certain, but one of the last things we did anyway is I made these covers for these journals that I already had going, and I still don't have them attached to the notebooks, but just as a means of review. So these are books of letters that I have written and or am writing. I started this one in 2018 and it's still going. Let's see, did I start this one? Yeah, both of these I started in 2018. They're books of letters, and they're both moleskin journals, but I just like having the covers on them, so I still need to do that. But those were on live streams. If you want to check those out, prior live streams. So I still need to attach those to the covers, and also I need to put a binding around the edge to finish this, which I didn't get that done either. Life just kind of went upside down there for a little bit. Let's see, this was the other thing that we did, and this was a journal page, which I'm not sure whether I showed this when it got to this stage or not. But this was a journal page that was about my 50th wedding anniversary, which I celebrated on June the 3rd. And so this was just bits and pieces about, kind of bookending that event that was so significant in my life that I'd looked forward to for so long. And, did not celebrate it with Clausman. I celebrated it in memory of him. And so we did some of that, kind of did that page together a little bit. And this is a bunch of napkins. So a bunch of paper napkins on here. Like, this is paper napkin. There's text from a dictionary. So I went through the dictionary and I pulled out the different words that had to do with, the whole thing. You're talking about being married and being anniversary and honeymoon, but also widowed. And it's just kind of a weird thing. But that's one of the purposes for me of journaling, whether it's art journaling like this or writing journaling, is it just encapsulates moments or events or whatever. And this is my favorite thing on the whole page. She's got issues, so get over it. This was a mask that I made from my wedding picture, and so I decided to just tear it out and glue it in the book, so that's what I did. It was a cardstock stencil, and so I just tore it out and glued it in. So we did that. Now, that is also, most of this is on stream, not all of it, but most of it. And I talked about the vase that was stolen, so I put a vase on here, some flowers in it. All the things that are kind of significant to me or symbolic, the butterflies, which I may add some color and stuff too. Our honeymoon was in Hawaii, and so I have shells and, just various and sundry things. Anyway, we did that. So this is just kind of a review of where we were not too long ago. There's more that I can, there's always more you can do on a journal page. None of them are ever finished for me, because I'm likely to pick up a journal and just start doodling on it or adding, words or, who knows. Anyway, so that's kind of, thanks, Joan. So that's kind of where we were on that. Yes. What else shall we do here today? Is there anything you guys would like to see that I can easily get to? I really didn't. I have tried to plan something for today, and it just didn't happen so well. Anybody have anything you want to see me do? If it's not too messy. Yeah, it was fun to do. Thanks, Linda. I thought all that would take a lot longer, but it didn't, so. Chat is nice. You guys are sweet. Maybe we'll do this. We haven't finished this. Maybe we'll do this. An oldie but goodie. Because I can see the pins. So maybe we'll do this. Work on this. This is an art journal page that's in a different journal, of course. And then we can, while my hands are moving, we can talk, huh? See where the front of this journal is. Here it is. Okay. this particular this particular journal is just a bunch of used up leftover stuff, you know, from other pages and other things I was doing. And so then I plopped a mandala, a wonky mandala on this. This was from a journal page that I did in the VIP group. I always have multiples of things when I'm doing a class. So this was the one that I was demonstrating with, and this is the one I had finished, as I recall. This is where I tested out some different art supplies. Same thing here and here. So my art journals are sometimes they're pages that are like this. They're sample pages of things, and then sometimes they're finished pages. Hi, Shu. But I just do it. It's usually my art journals are a conglomeration of various and sundry things. Okay, so let's do this, shall we? Here's my list of things to talk about. Okay. Alrighty. Just looking here, trying to get my bearings again. I need to get some paint pens. Let me be right back, okay? Okay. By some miracle, I could put my hand right on them. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I know. So these are Posca pens. I have them in various tip sizes. In this bag, I have white, black, and metallic. So there's a pink and a kind of a greenish aqua metallic gold. I don't think I got silver. I don't think I ever put silver. Got silver in this group. But anyway, we'll put some silver. Oh yeah, there is silver right there. Silver. Hello. So we'll just get some of these out. So I have them in different tip sizes because I often like to use the Posca pens for dotting and so forth. Okay. Boy, I am out of my element today. Let's see if we can get a pen working, and then we'll add some dots. You know, when in doubt, dot, right? Yeah. When in doubt, dot. So let's do some dots. So when we headed to the mountains, we hit every kind of weather I think that you can hit. We started out with rain. And when you go into the mountains, that's just kind of the way it is. You just never know quite what it's going to be like. But we had rain, and so that forced us to stop because it was raining at night and it was really dark. So that forced us to stop. So we didn't make it all the way to the destination, which was really good because the next day, when we did head to our destination, we found out that you have to go over various passes in the mountains to get where you want to go, which means you got to go through the mountains, okay? And so when we were headed up, because the elevation of the place we were staying was over 10,000 feet. Now, I live at sea level, and so going to 10,000 feet is quite a little adjustment. And so far, it has not been a bad adjustment for me when I've been there, which I'm very grateful for. But on the way up, okay, why is this happening? Okay, never mind. On the way up, and over one of the passes that we had to go through, because you know there's only certain places that you can get over or through the mountain. They'd had 8 inches of hail. Okay, 8 inches of hail. Hi, Tracy. Yes, hail. That's a lot of hail, not snow. Hail. It's a lot of hail. And when we were told that as we were going up to go through this pass or go over the pass, I don't know what the language is. Anyway, we're going to go there. And somebody had said, a couple of people had remarked about all the hail at this particular pass. And it was cool, but it wasn't really cold. But when we went through that pass, there was still hail stacked up in big piles on both sides of the highway. Isn't that crazy? It was crazy. Took pictures of it. Well, and we ended up, we had to stop one place before we started going up through toward that pass. We stopped at a Walmart to get groceries and went in to go shopping. And it hailed while we were in Walmart, came out, and there was a lot of hail on the windshield. Like, it must have hailed a couple of inches of hail while we were in there. And I'm like, this is the weirdest thing. I mean, I live in Missouri in the United States, which is known for its weird weather patterns and stuff. You know, if you don't like the weather, stay till tomorrow kind of thing. But I'm telling you, we don't even get that here. But that was really crazy. Anyway, lots of hail. Okay, so let's see. What else should we do on this? Let us just start putting some... See if I can get my pens going. When I get back into doing stuff like this, it takes me a minute to kind of get my bearings again. So we had hail, we had rain, we had snow. We went through a pass that had several, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 feet of snow still on the ground. We had heat. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything else that I can think of? I mean, it pretty much ran the gamut, you know. We went through the most incredible cloud patterns. I've decided what I want to do when I'm no longer on this planet. What I want to do is I want to be given the job of hanging the clouds and painting the sky. That's what I want my job to be. Because I think that would be the most incredible job. And I get so mesmerized looking at the clouds and the cloud formations. And I saw everything from the most beautiful fluffy cloud patterns, like cotton candy kind of clouds, you know, those big voluminous clouds, to the ones that were just, you know, straight, and they looked like a piece of cotton batting that had been stretched out until it just almost would break. There were a lot of those. What else do we see? There were because of being in the mountains and you're up so high, you see a lot of sky. I mean, you just see, you know, this humongous amount of space in the sky. And you could see it was raining over here, and you could see the sun shining here. I mean, it was just, it's just almost, because I don't live in that kind of area, it's almost more than my head can take in. It's just really amazing to be able to see that many kinds of things. And anyway, it was just, the only word that I can use for things like that is awesome. It is truly awesome. But I think it would be so neat if I could be one of the cloud people. I could hang the clouds. Paint the clouds and hang the clouds. I would love that. Anyway, I digress, right? But it was, and then there was one day, one of the things that we talked about frequently, one of my very favorite things, and I would like to propose this to every person who listens to this, happens to get this far in the video, which if you started out listening to me and I start rambling, I understand if you go away. And if you come back or if you hang out with me, excellent. Thank you for doing that. But one of my favorite things to pose to anyone who I'm with, whether it's a grandchild, my son, the Studley Duck, whomever it is that I'm with, is what was your favorite thing about today? What was your favorite thing you saw? What was your favorite thing about today? That's one of my favorite questions. And I pose that to myself too, because it's really not difficult to look at how you wish things were, as opposed to how what thing you have or what observation you can have right in front of you that can just change your whole outlook. If you're feeling really crappy during the day, if you just pose that question to yourself and ask yourself, what was my favorite thing that happened today, or my favorite thing I saw today? I mean, you can vary it in many different ways, and it can change your entire outlook. It can just change everything. So on Sunday, because we've had these days of all of these beautiful clouds and all this stuff, it's just stunningly beautiful. And the blues of the sky, that's the other thing I'd like to do, is I would like to be able to choose the colors of the sky. I think that would be a great job. And all of the different shades of blue that I saw on this trip of the sky, it was everything. If you know pink colors, it was everything from Prussian blue to ultramarine blue to phthalo blue to that sky blue, you know what I mean? The blue that has white mixed with it. It was just to purple, like a lavender blue. It was just the most, the colors of blue are just phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. So anyway, but most of the time there were clouds all over everywhere. So Sunday morning, we were going to go to, we got to see several, because I've known the Studley Duck for a long time, we've known a lot of the same people. And so we were going to a church out there that was, one of the ministers of this church was a kid from back in the day, many, many years ago, when the Studleys kids were young, and so was my son. And so we were going to go to this church. Well, on the way, as we're driving, because we had to leave fairly early to get out of the mountains and get down to the place, the elevation where this church was, I look over, I'd been busy, getting ready to go and all that kind of stuff. And I look over at the sky, just happened to, how you can get your eyes down and you forget to look up. Well, I finally looked up and I went, and here is Pikes Peak, which is this incredible sight all by itself, snow-covered, and there was not a cloud in the sky anywhere. It was this snow-covered mountain against this blue sky. The blue was just unbelievable. It was like it was so clear and it was so beautiful. I mean, it took my breath away. It absolutely took my breath away. And that's when I went, wow, this could be, when you start thinking about what's your favorite thing or what's the best part of the day, if you start thinking that way, then sometimes when I go through the day, the events of the day, I will actually think to myself, oh, this could be the best part of the day, and I start recording in my head and my thoughts. It's like, oh, remember this, because this might be the best part of the day. You start looking for the best thing or the most beautiful thing or the whatever. If you haven't tried that, I really encourage you to do that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Let's come in. There you go. You see a little better. I encourage you, if you have not tried that, looking for the most incredible or meaningful or beautiful or whatever part of your day, do that. So at the end of hours of seeing Pikes Peak in the clearness of the sky and the contrast of the snow, and the weather was really beautiful. It wasn't cold. You would think when you're looking at snow-covered mountains that it's going to be cold, but it wasn't. Okay, I'm going to go the other direction because I'm going to lay my hand right in that wet ink. When we were talking about it later, that was one of the pivotal moments the pivotal moments of the day, was how beautiful that was, and the sky can change so fast, and the clouds can change so fast that you just need to take time and just, boy, appreciate it. The other thing I appreciate having eyes to be able to see those things. I just really appreciate that, because my eyes aren't the best in the whole world. They're doing just fine, but my vision has never been super great, and so to have eyes, as of course the older I get, the more I appreciate those things, because when you're young and stupid, you don't have sense enough to appreciate it. Right? Am I right? Yeah. But to have eyes to be able to see those clouds and the mountains and the snow and the blue, one of my good friends lost her husband about 6 months before mine, and he was colorblind. Her husband was colorblind. He could see some colors, but a lot of colors he could not see. And I've often thought about, well, he was born that way. I don't think anything happened to him to cause him to be colorblind. But I think what a blessing it has been in my life to be able, even if my vision isn't super clear, to be able to see colors and to see shapes. Sometimes I take my glasses off on purpose so that I can just see the world in soft focus, because it changes the way you see things. But to see color, wow, boy, I appreciate that, especially when I know someone who is colorblind. Yeah. You like that, Barbara? Yeah, it's I do like, when in doubt, pick up a pen and just start doing something. Add a different color, add a different shape. It's only, you know what? This is only junk paper that had a bunch of background stuff on it that was useless, and a few minutes of drawing, and kind of leftover paint and stuff. So there's nothing that is sacred on this page. If I get tired of it or don't like it, I'll just put gesso over the top of it and start over, So let's see, what else? So that was one of our, we talked about that quite a bit, about that was one of the most favored moments of the entire trip, was seeing the clarity of the sky that day. Not a cloud in the sky. Not a cloud. It was unbelievable. And the snow against the blue of the sky, it was the clearness. I mean, it was the epitome of that song, on a clear day you can see forever. It was that. It was that. It was amazing. So let's see, what else? Oh, one of my favorite things. I did get some pictures of this, which I'll show sometime, hopefully. One of my favorite images was, as far as not being in the clouds, but this area where we were staying, there's woods all around the area, and the wildlife comes in there. You know, you can have everything from raccoons to bears to I don't know what kind of cat, big cats they are, if they're mountain lions or what, I don't know what they are, some kind of big cat. You generally don't see them. They're usually nocturnal. You'll see the evidence later where somebody has come in and tried to get into the trash or something. You know, you'll see that after the fact. But there are a lot of deer, and the deer, it's a different kind of deer than what we have in our area, of course. An antelope, an elk, and so there's just a lot of chipmunks. And there was some other little scurrying kind of creature that was bigger than a chipmunk, but I didn't know what it was. Anyway, I still don't know what those are. Anyway, I looked out the kitchen window, and it's the back part of this place has aspen trees and bristlecone pines, and it's just, you know, kind of forested. You know, it's very wooded in the back, and so you just look out and that's what you see. But you can still see the ground and stuff. And all of a sudden, my eyes caught in under this little, kind of almost an umbrella of tree branches. There were 2 deer under there, and I wasn't sure what they were at first, but one was a mother, and the other one was like an adolescent deer. Because he was about half the size, maybe a little more, the size, you know, half as big as his mama. And she was eating, and clearly she's keeping an eye on the kid because, you know, he's just being a pain in her side, but she's got to feed him, and so they're out, you know, having lunch or whatever. And he wasn't interested in eating at all, but he was interested in playing. And so he would, and of course nobody knew that they were being observed, so that was perfect. And I got some pictures. They were far enough away that I had to zoom in my camera, so it's not super clear, but it was still, the picture's in my head. You know, I see the fuzzy picture and I know what it is. And this little guy was pawing the ground, you know, just as fast as I'd never seen a deer do that before, pawing the ground just as fast as he could, kicking up the dirt. And then the next thing you'd see, he would kick his hind legs up, you know, and kick out. Now, I used to see, when we had goats a long time ago, I'd see the goats do that sometimes, but I'd never seen a deer do that. And this little guy was having the best time. He was having the time of his life. He was kicking and kicking and kicking, and then he'd stop and he'd paw the ground, and then he'd look around, and all the time his mother's over here eating, and she's like, oh, kids, you know, you can just tell she was just shaking her head like, I brought you here for lunch, and you're more interested in playing in the dirt than having lunch. Great. You're going to be hungry later, and you're going to complain, and I'm going to say to you, I took you for lunch and you chose not to eat. Can't you just hear the conversation? Oh, he was having a great day. He was having a wonderful day. Hi, Tara. Wild blackberries. Okay, who else did I miss here? Bye, Joycey. Hi, Joni. Oh, that's wonderful, Joni. She had cataract surgery so she can see colors like she hasn't in a while. Hello, Mama is learning. Good to see you. If there's anybody that I missed, please know that I'm glad you're here. I'm not very good at watching the chat today. Hey, Tam. Oh, it was just, he was having so much fun. And you could just, just fill in and imagine the conversation going on with that mama deer, and she's, she would just wander off a little bit, and then she'd come back, and he's still busy kicking up his heels, and he was having fun. Bless his little heart, he was having a great time. That was, on that day, that was my moment. That was my very favorite moment that day. But if you haven't tried that before, that catching the favorite moment of the day or the best part of the day, especially, I will tell you, especially if you are having a difficult time, you can really shift, your whole demeanor. You can shift your whole outlook by doing that, by looking for the best possible thing, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but back in February, March, April, and I had that just wretched ear infection. Wretched ear infection I could not get over for some reason. I had to finally get over myself and start looking for, what was good. Like, boy, I can finally hear a little bit more than I could yesterday out of that ear. Because I had become so internalized and focused on what I didn't have or what I couldn't have or what I couldn't do, or being dizzy or whatever. I'd become so focused on that I had to actually just finally, it's like, you got to find a way around this, because if you don't, you're going to lose your cork here. You're going to lose your cork. You got to find a way through this. Yeah. So, but the point is, you can make a difference. You can make things different by changing your outlook, change your focus, change the way you talk to yourself. It does make a difference, trust me. One of the things that I challenged when Klausman was dealing with what I did not know at the time, but he was dealing with dementia. I did not know that's what we were dealing with for a long time. And I kept trying to find things for him to do, because he was such an active, super active person, and I could not figure out why he was sitting, just like sitting in a chair. And I'm like, what is going on? I couldn't figure out what was going on. Couldn't figure it out. Kept trying, but I was having a terrible time trying to figure out what was going on. And so I kept trying to find things for him to do, and he wasn't very enthusiastic about doing most of what I suggested, but he did like photography really well, and he liked his phone, and he liked the ease of taking pictures with his phone. And so I suggested at one point, I bought him that little Sprocket printer, the little printer that does 2x3-inch prints that are stickers. And I said, I want to, it was for a holiday or something, his birthday, or I don't know what it was for, some holiday. And I said, I want to challenge you to take one picture every day. But just one. Just take one picture. And we'll put it in a journal. And so you'll have a whole record of, however long you're going to do this, you'll have one picture that's every day. And of course his immediate thing was, well, what should I take a picture of? And I'm like, it just kind of defeats the whole thing if I have to tell you what to take a picture of, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go back here. So he really had a struggle with trying to understand the whole concept of I'm sorry, my throat is not, I haven't been talking for very much. I haven't been talking much for a little while, and so my throat's being a little uncooperative today. Let's go back and let's put some, I don't know, I'm in the mood to use this big wide tip pen because it's fun, because it's just fun. Let's see. So anyway, rather than take one picture a day, he took many pictures every day, and then he would print out lots of pictures. So he missed the point of the whole thing, but it still gave him the power of observation. So he missed the point of the exercise, but it still got him a little more engaged with life, and so it was still a winning situation. And but that's another thing that you can try if you're trying to reorient yourself, after a difficult situation or an illness or some kind of life-altering event. If you have an iPhone or an Android or whatever, try taking, even if you don't print them out, try taking a picture every day. It's another thing that you can do to kind of change things, change your perspective. Or look for, review the day and what is that one best part, that one favorite moment of the day, Sometimes for me, I just get so caught up in my own garbage that I need to just back up, and this vacation did that for me. Just caused me to back up and get out of my own way and appreciate, really just appreciate. Like I said, my eyes, for example, I appreciate my eyes, being able to see. Is my vision perfect? Nope, far from it. But to be able to see and enjoy color and enjoy clouds and imagine myself being able to paint the sky. Ooh, I just think that was just a kick. That was such a kick. So, yeah. One of the great things that we did, do you ever have a moment? I know every one of you have had these moments, because I know every one of you who are interested in art supplies or some sort of creative opportunity or activity, I know every one of you have done this, where there's something that you're looking for. Because somebody said, this is really neat, and you really need this thing. It could be an art supply. In sewing, it could be a thread, it could be a needle, it could be a whatever, but you can't find it, And so you go on the hunt. You know what I'm talking about. You go on the hunt for the thing. And it's like it doesn't matter. Somehow it doesn't seem to matter that the thing that you're looking for is costing you money driving around looking for it, or it's costing you time looking for it online, but it becomes the thrill of the hunt. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Well, in this cabin where we were staying are 2 lamps. They're handmade lamps made from aspen wood, because that is one of the most prevalent woods up in the mountains there. And so they're handmade lamps, so they kind of have their own unique character, and they do require a special kind of a special lampshade. And when the Studley Duck bought the lamps, I guess it was last year he bought the lamps, he just bought, just some regular lampshades, because all you're after is just something to, cover the light bulb, right? And, they really didn't look all that great, but they were okay, right? They were okay. They weren't like the perfect lampshade, and who cares really whether they're perfect or not? Well, until this summer, and see, don't you like the dots? Don't you like the dots? See, I love that. I love what the dots do. I'm telling you guys. When in doubt, dot. Okay? Remember that. When in doubt, dot. Dots can make everything better. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. So anyway, lampshades. All right, we'll go back here while I process what I'm going to do next here. We need to start playing out here in these petals on this one. What am I going to do out here? What am I going to do? I really love these lines from here, so maybe I'll do those. I don't know whether this gold is going to work or not. Let's try it. If I don't like it, I'll do something different. Yeah, it's not really going to show up. Okay, we're going to have to do a different color because that's not going to show up. So what color do I want to use? Maybe I'll go to this one. Let's try this color. Sorry, I'm talking to myself, I know. Okay. Once I kind of get my bearings, then I'm okay. So anyway, so this year, the Studley Duck decides that he wants different lampshades, because these lampshades that they're just white lampshades from like Lowe's, they don't look right. And I agreed with him, they probably didn't look right. Well, in case you guys don't know, lampshades are not the easiest things to find, especially in the mountains, where you have to drive, from one end of the world to the other to get to any place. And so it became the thrill of the hunt. And so we ended up going back across the mountain and looking at Lowe's, and they didn't have anything. Walmart didn't have anything, and there's just a limit to what I'm sure you can't see that very well. That's what I'm doing right there. Okay, just putting lines similar to what this motif is in here. I like to, when I'm doing the work, the embellishment like this, I like to repeat patterns as I go out, so that's why I'm repeating the lines, because I like it. Do you do art when you're not on a live stream? Sometimes I do. Hi Kel, good to see you. I hope you're doing well now. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I take a break. What I did this time is he has a Yamaha Clavinova, which is like an electronic piano, and I played the piano quite a bit this time, which was equally creative. And since I don't own a piano anymore, that was a special blessing for me to get to sit and play. So I did that more than I did, art that I could hold in my hand. So anyway, we go to all the the standard places that were available, big box stores and stuff. Nothing. He even bought 2 lampshades that we thought might work. They didn't work. So then we start looking online, both of us, to see where could you buy a lampshade within a decent area, right? We found some really neat people to talk to in the process as we were looking. And so I'm going to show you these 2 places because both of these were really neat places. If you ever are out in the mountains of Colorado, this was one place, Lily's Lighting and Decor, okay, in Frisco, Colorado. Lily's Lighting and Decor. And this place had some of the most unique lamps and lighting things. Didn't have lampshades for squat, but some of the most incredible artwork and unique lamps. Just super unique place. And what he ended up buying there was he did buy a lamp, not a shade, but he bought a whole lamp, and it was about, I don't know, about so big. And it was a statue. I don't know what it was made of. It appeared to be metal, but I don't know if it was really metal. But it was a bear standing on his hind legs, holding a set of skis and a ski pole. And that was the statue that was on the base of this lamp. And then, of course, a lampshade and all of that. And it was the right size, and it was the perfect thing. And it's, of course, this is out in the woods, so, bears do it in the woods, right? It was the perfect thing to sit on the piano and put light on the music. And it was the most adorable. I'll get a picture of it. I don't think I have one, but I'll get one. The most adorable piece of, art, actually, that was a lamp. So there was a lamp that came home to live in the cabin. However, it was not the lampshades. Hey, Becky. It was not the lampshades, which were the whole point of this thrill of the hunt. So then the next day we went back across, how much did these lampshades cost by the time they were found? A lot. The next day we went back. And in the process of going back across the mountain, over hill and over dale and, the switchbacks and all that, we went to a lamp store, and I think we went to 2 places, I think it was 2 places that day. And, it was 2 places. And the first person sent us to the second place. The second place that we went, she said, no, I'm not where you want to be. We just fix and repair lamps here, but we don't have shades. But where you want to go is about 40th and Plum. Keep on going, and you'll finally come to this other store. Okay? And so this was the other store we went to. It was called Lamps Plus. Okay, I think they have stores in other places, but Lamps Plus. And this place had lampshades. Yes, it had lampshades. A lot of lampshades. The perfect lampshades were found. They weren't all that expensive, but by the time you factor in the amount of gas and time and effort, they were probably very expensive. I don't know. Hi, Alicia. Yes, I am here. These lampshades were the typical mountain style scene. They had like silhouettes of bears and mountains, and it was just they were like the perfect lampshade. They were perfect. You guys, I'll tell you. Sometimes the thrill of the hunt, that art supply that you're looking for, that costs $5 by the time you finally find it. How expensive is it really? You can do that with other stuff too. Anyway, it was pretty funny. In the process, somebody said, oh, you've got to go have tacos at such and such a place because it's right by the store where you'll probably find the lampshade you're looking for. By golly, we went there and had lunch, and they were absolutely right. It was called Torchy's Tacos. Torchys. Torchy's Tacos. Have any of you ever eaten at a Torchy's Taco? Oh my goodness. It was really good. Oh, my computer keeps going to sleep on me. Crazy thing. Oh, we did. We Google searched from our phone. Yep, we sure did. Our phone, we blew up our phones Google searching. We sure did. But just because some place would say that they had lamps and shades didn't necessarily mean that they really did. Yeah, but it was still fun. You know, if you're on vacation, sometimes it's just fun to just drive around and look for something. Yeah, we both searched till our fingers were tired. But anyway, the lampshades, I am happy to report, were purchased and put on the Aspen lamps and declared to be the perfect ones. Declared to be perfection. Yes, declared to be perfection. Boy, you guys can't even see that. That green is... See that color? It's just like blending in. Here in real life, it is... I can really see it, but boy, on the screen, it wants to just... There you go. That's what it looks like in real life right there. See how bright that is? But as soon as I tilt the book, look, it just goes away. Is that weird? Anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Hey, Joyce. Oh, Joyce has never had a taco. Oh, Joyce. Oh, Joyce, we gotta... Oh, my goodness. You need to have a taco. Well, I don't know. I like tacos. You guys like tacos? Tell me in the chat if you like tacos. What's your favorite kind of food to eat? I really like tacos. I know some people probably don't, but I really do. And this particular place was really good. Anyway, so that was one day. No, actually, that was more than one day, because we were looking for the elusive lampshade, the elusive correct lampshade. That's crazy. It's like I could have made lampshades faster than we found lampshades. That's a fact. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you? I don't know what else I have to tell you. You guys have any questions for me? Since I've been gone for so long, I am back for a few weeks, and then I'm going to be gone again for probably a week. But that's not till the end of next month. Next month, I turn the next decade of my life, and when my birthday comes around. Boy, you can tell how wonky some of the sides are on some of these shapes. Let's see. Mediterranean food. Yeah, Mediterranean food is good. We had fish tacos one place. One place we went was to a kayak race. Now, I'm going to tell you something. People who race kayaks, and it was cold that day. It was cold and it was raining. And these people are crazy. That water was coming off the mountain, racing off the mountain, and these people are in kayaks and they're going through gates like they do with like when you see on the Olympics where the skiers come down the mountain and they're going through the gates and stuff. That's what this kayak race was all about. Ooh. Let me tell you, those are hardcore folks right there. Hardcore. And we had fish tacos that day in a restaurant that we could be inside and watch the kayak races. That was perfection. The food was good. The food was really good. We were inside. It was warm. And you could see all the activities. It was funny. Steak, lobster, Mediterranean food, tacos, shrimp tacos. Amy's steak, medium rare. I don't know Amy's steak. Is Amy's a steakhouse? Salmon. I like salmon. Shrimp, avocado, lobster, crab, good fish. Peg, you have good taste, man. You have good taste. You have good taste. But those kayak races, oh my goodness, those people, hardcore folks. Whew. Whereas I'm not a swimmer, so, it doesn't appeal to me to go do something on purpose to, get yourself in the super cold water and get wet. That doesn't really appeal to me much at all. But I don't mind watching it. I don't mind watching people. And this was some kind of festival in this little community. It was a big deal, these kayak races. It was a big deal. And a lot of people had their dogs there. And I don't know what it is about people when they go places with their dogs. They'll spray paint parts of them. And I'm like, especially poodles for some reason. They like to spray paint the poofs, which probably has some, real good proper name, but the poofs just like on their ankles of their feet, they seem to like to spray paint those. I'm like, oh goodness. Yeah, I couldn't, cold water. Well, I'm not a swimmer anyway, which is exactly why I made sure that my son could swim, because I was not a swimmer. He was taking swimming lessons when he was a year old. It's like, this kid is going to learn to swim because I am not a swimmer. I tried a lot to learn how to swim well, and I just never did. But as a result, my son was a competitive swimmer in high school, and so I was successful in getting him to swim. But I wasn't very successful with myself. Yeah. You guys swim, and do you enjoy water sports and stuff? This is just kind of loose designs there, just to kind of make it look like it works. Okay, so let's come out here so you can see. Okay, I know you can't see that. Gosh, I wish you could see it the way it is in real life. That's why I'm trying to tip it so you can see the line work out there in those green. It's subtle, which I kind of like, actually. Okay, let's take a look at one of these pens. Let's see if this pen right here, appears to be about the same color as this. I don't know if it is or not. We're going to find out, because we need to do some more dots. Okay, that's kind of it's a metallic. It's about the same color. So we're gonna do some dots, shall we? We shall. I think what I'm gonna, let's see, what do I want to do here? It doesn't matter, Barb. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm just gonna put dots. I don't think I've got this mixed up very well. Need to stop and shake this pen again. That's one of the things about the Posca pens that you need to do, is you need to really shake them. Oh, that's great, Hermie. She swims every Wednesday. Good for you. That is good. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough. I'm just going to do this, and I may come back and dot again, more dots or more something. I just love the way the Posca pens, the big tips like this, the big round bullet points, can just make dots so fast. So my trip away, it was a really good time away. It was a time to just be in the mountains and breathe mountain air and just, you know, renew acquaintances with some friends from a long time ago. You know, I didn't have time to do any of that for a long, long time. So I got to see people I hadn't seen in a long time and spend time with them, and just sometimes just sit, and sometimes do silly things like go for, you know, looking for lampshades, you know. But mostly it was just a time to just breathe and relax. I don't know that I've done that very, very well in my lifetime. And Clausman and I used to ride motorcycles. I'm sure, well, yeah, I showed you pictures of my motorcycle days. But we used to ride motorcycles, and we've ridden in the mountains quite a bit. And that was, you know, you either love that stuff or you don't. I loved it. It's been many, 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 many years since I have done any of that. So it was really nice. But I am still so tired. I don't know if it's the change in elevation again, because it takes some time to get used to going from sea level to 10,000 feet. It's amazing how fast you can get winded being at 10,000 feet above sea level. You know, it just is amazing. So I don't know if it's that or what, or just coming back. And anyway, man, I'm not caught up on sleep, and I slept really well when I was in the mountains. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. That could be it too. That could be it. That could be it. Before any of you say it, I said it. Okay? I said it. That could be what happens too. Anyway, tomorrow, I don't have anything on my schedule for tomorrow. So you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? Now watch, I'll wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But tomorrow my plan is I'm going to sleep until I wake up. Yeah, I'm going to sleep till I wake up tomorrow. You spent a week at 7,000 feet and never quite got accustomed to it. It is interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting how much it can affect you. Okay, so there is that. Okay, so we've just kind of got some dotting going on. This poor thing needs something else. I'm not sure what it needs yet. What do you need? What do you need? What do you want? Right? sometimes you have to ask the thing what it wants. So I think that maybe what it wants is I need to call out these dots a little bit more because they sort of disappeared into things. So we're gonna make them appear a little bit more. I don't know that you're going to be able to see that either. This is crazy. There we go. I think you can see it now. Anyway, so tomorrow my plan is I'm going to sleep till I wake up. No alarms will be set tomorrow. You think that'll work? Like I said, I'll wake up at 6 a.m., I'm sure. Maybe 5. I have no plan to do anything, and so, except the cat. Oh, the cat. What is wrong with this cat? Why? He's quiet now. He's been totally quiet since I closed him up in the room. I had to close him up in there before I ever started because he was driving me crazy. And Cat has talked to me nonstop since I got home. And I know that the little gal that was staying here with him took care of him, took really good care of him. She cuddles him. She loves him. But he was not having it. Since I have been home, he has followed me, sat on me, talked to me, whined at me, complained to me. He sits and looks at me like he's afraid I'm going to disappear, I guess. I don't know what his problem is. But I told him this afternoon, I said, you've got to stop talking to me. And you know what he did? All he did was go, meow, meow. I'm like, oh, Chance, really? You've got to just shut your mouth. It's like when you have a toddler and they go, mommy, 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 mommy. And you just, or they poke your leg, or poke your arm, trying to get your attention. That is exactly what this cat is like. He was not like this before I left, so apparently I traumatized him by being gone, you think? Crazy animal. What a crazy cat. Okay, that's getting a little better. I can see it a little bit more. Oh, he missed me a lot. He did. He missed me a lot, apparently. And when I was communicating with she's a college student. I was communicating with her when I was gone to make sure everything was okay. And she said, oh, he's fine. He and Muppet are just fine. They just miss you a lot. And I'm like, oh, that's silly. They don't miss me. They don't, as long as somebody's here with them, they don't miss me. Oh, I think maybe they did. Especially the cat. Oh, goodness. That cat. Crazy boy. He is a crazy boy. So, I have a question for you all. So, I'm back on my schedule again, my regular schedule of streaming. So, I'll be back on Monday night again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Is there anything that you all in the audience, whether you're in the live audience or whether you're watching after the fact, is there anything in particular you'd like to see me do or that you'd like to learn about? It'd be interesting to read or hear what you have to say, and I would enjoy compiling a list of things that you might be interested in. What I need to do is I need to go back. You know what I need to do? When I sort of get low on ideas, what I need to do is I need to clean. Because if I start cleaning my stuff and reorganizing things, that's when I get so many fresh ideas. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy, but that's what happens. That's my best idea generator, is to start cleaning and organizing. And believe me, there's plenty of stuff that needs to have that done to it around here. Yeah, so stick it in the chat if you would. I'll look at the comments here in just a second. I'm just about around this mandala, this doodle thing. I don't know if you could really call this a mandala. It's a very wonky thing. Maybe it's a wonky flower. Maybe it's a wonky flower. I'm sorry that my energy is so crazy today. Woo, I did not think, I thought I was in pretty good shape today. and all of a sudden I lapse into this thing of, you know, here's what's funny. Have you ever been talking to somebody and all of a sudden you sort of drift off to sleep? Your eyelids go closed for just a split second. You're like, oh no, I drifted off for a minute. I did that yesterday. That is so unlike me, but boy, it happened to me yesterday. I was getting my hair cut, and we were talking, and I was having a good, really good conversation with my stylist. And all of a sudden, I caught myself going, so weird. You guys ever had that happen? Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one more time. So that did kind of help, call out the dots around the edge. Just gave it a little more texture around that edge out there. This is a very subtle page by comparison to what, a lot of my mandalas are. I need to come around and do some shading around it. That'll lift it off the page a little bit more. Anyway, that's that. Blank is a long blank. Yeah. Okay. So, any ideas? I can come clean your art room, CB. I'll get some ideas from your room then. Miniatures and watercolor. Nice, Hermie. I do felting. Yeah. Would you like to see some machine felting? I know how to do the needle felting, but the needle felting is, like the single needle felting or the holder that has multiple needles in it. That is, it's pretty time consuming. So I don't generally do that on stream because it's more time consuming. I'm looking for ink. I'll be right back. Vermilion, maybe. No, I don't want that. Okay. All right. We'll just do the blue because it's my favorite. I'm going to ink around the edge of this. This is the journal that we just covered when we started here. The cover is just about, just about dry. Needs a little bit more time under weight, but I'm just going to ink the edges. Is when you sand the edge like I did to take off the excess paper around the edge, it gives you provides this great space for you to add some ink around the edge, and it kind of covers up that beveled space that the sanding has created, and it just gives you a really nice edge for adding ink. And the inking just kind of helps create a border, and it's I don't know, I really like inked edges around things. Frames it, borders it. Needle felting is your thing, Hermie? That's cool. Do you felt with the machine, or do you felt with the single felting needles, or by hand, I guess I should say? Hi, Connie. Oh, you like the crazy family, the goofy relatives. We should do some more of those. Yeah, I haven't done those in a while. I have a bunch of those that are sitting waiting to be finished. We could do those. A hand, okay. Barbara likes mandalas. I still have so many things to do in the mandala realm. So many things to do in the realm of mandalas. What I'm using here is archival ink in cobalt blue. I used to do everything in black, and then I started doing in blue, the edging in blue, and I'm like, yeah, I really like that in the blue. Another thing you can do in with these notebooks like this is just take the ink and just ink the edges. I don't do this all the time, but I do it some of the time, which I just kind of enjoy because, you know, it kind of adds a little character to a journal. I don't do it to everyone, like I said, but I do to some of them. I see Chance is waking up. Can you hear him? He knows. The cat knows when I'm getting ready to stream, and he also knows when I'm getting ready to finish a stream. I do not know, because he cannot speak English, I do not know how he knows when I am changing my activity. But you see, sometimes with doing the edges of the pages, it just, you know, just gives it a little something something. Kel likes the needle felting. So one more thing I'll do before we take off, and that is, let's put the word on here. I don't know where these foam letters came from. T-H-R-I. We need a V and an E. Okay. I don't know where these came from. I've had them for literally forever. Okay, so let's see, T H R. Okay, they're going to have to scooch up. I V E. Okay, T H R I V E. Oh, that'll work. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, I need some paint. Where's my paint? Here it is. I'm going to do it in just some black, and then if I need to, I'll come back over it and I will. Okay, let's do. I'm going to do a combination of large and small letters just because. So this is acrylic paint. These are foam stamps that I'm using, and this is my word for this year. This is probably going to be a little wonky, but we don't care. You guys don't care, right? Good enough. Good enough. All right, we'll do a combination of big letters, capital letters, and small letters. And if I need to come back and touch these up later, T-H-R-I-V-E. I will do that. Okay, we'll do a small I here. And then a big R, because we can. I'm just putting the paint on with a makeup sponge. This is all so that I know, THRIVE, okay. This is all so that I know what the front cover of this journal is. That is the whole purpose of doing this, so that I can pick up the journal and, all right, we're going to make these a little wonky, so that I don't have to try to figure out which is the front cover of my journal, or which is the front of my journal. That irritates me beyond belief. And that is good enough. Ugly as it is, it's good enough. That'll work until I decide I want to do something else to it, which might or might not ever happen. But I have a new journal covered, ready to go, and then I'll play with doodle on it, add stickers, whatever, I don't know. Okay, with that, jelly plate, bookmarks, goofy relatives. Okay. Paint a picture. You know what I was thinking of, Tracy? I was thinking of doing a grid journal. I was talking about this the other day. Doing a grid journal, you know, where you do the little grid things. Because I took so many pictures when I was gone of the clouds and the mountains and stuff. And doing just a whole, like, little vignettes of the different landscapes. So I might do that. You want to see Chance before I go? Okay. I'll let him out. I was thinking of leaving him in there for good. Rotten animal. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Yeah, everybody wants to see you. I don't know why. But they want to see you because you're such a pain in the neck. He's such a pain in the neck. Here he is. Here he is. You need your toenails cut again. Yeah, you need your toenails cut again. Come here. Come here. We'll put your camera on you. Are you ready for your close-up? Are you ready for your close-up? Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. Say hello to your fans. Say hello to your fans. Can you say hi? Huh? This is how he has been for days. Just a crazy cat. Can't get enough attention. Can't get enough pats. You'd think that he'd been left alone for months. You'd think he'd been totally alone for months. You'd think he'd been alone for months and months and months. Oh, yes, I know. He has not stopped purring since I got back. Not stopped purring, not for even 1 second. He has been a crazy boy. Yeah, he's been a crazy boy. And there he is in all of his glory. Oh, crazy animal. Yeah. He's fattened up a little bit, which is really good, you know. It's very close. That's very close there. He's fattened up. His spine, his backbone is not nearly as prominent. His hip bones are still a little bit prominent, but he looks better than he did. And he's certainly enjoying his wet food twice a day. He loves that, don't you? Yeah. He's such a mess. This cat is a mess. He is looking old, but, you know, so am I. So there you go. There you go. Oh, he just can't get, he just cannot get enough. He headbutts me. You know what I mean? Where I have a cup, like a cup of tea or something, and he will, or a plate with food on it, and he will come right up, and he has so much power in his head, and he will headbutt me. If I'm not really watching him, he can dump the cup of whatever, or up into my plate, or, he's just, cat's a mess. This cat is just a mess. Aren't you? Yes. Oh, well. Okay. So with that said, we're going to go. Thank you all so much for being here. He did miss me. Yes, he did. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and maybe we'll do some relatives on Monday night. You think? I don't know. Or maybe we'll do some vignettes. I'd like to do those vignettes from some of the landscapes from being in Colorado, because it was so beautiful. I think you guys might enjoy those, seeing those. So we'll see if maybe we can do some of those too. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you have a really good weekend. I hope that I get a lot of really good sleep this weekend. I just can't seem to get enough sleep at the moment. And the landscape vignettes, okay, maybe we can do that. Thanks for being here. I will see you on Monday. And until then, remember to get creative today, because you know it's easy. Come on over and check out HowToGetCreative.com. I will see you on Monday. Bye, everybody. Have a great evening, morning, week, life, whatever you got going on. See you later. Bye.